It's getting a bit tight here. It's 5:40 a.m. We left camp this morning at 3:30 a.m. So we've been on the road for over 2 hours on the track, and we've got another maybe an hour and a half to go till we hit the highway, and then we've got about a 30-40 kilometre dash, or maybe 50 I think, to Balladonia to get the spare parts for the Land Cruiser, and then we've got to go back again. So it's going to be a long day for us. We're hungry, we're tired. I think we might have to get a roadhouse meal when we get there too, eh? Big nice bacon eggs or something. Oh, we better hit the road again. On our way back, Bill Bunya Dunes off in the distance, and there were 2 fresh tyre tracks in front of us. We're now going down a conveyor belt. This is here so it's easier to get up and down, because if you don't have lockers you will not be making it up that hill we're going down. Time for the rebuild, and I have my mechanical hero here, Yeehaw, and he's
morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's been a long morning for us.
It has been a long.
It's still morning.
Is it?
It's past morning now.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
So that bearing's greased, seals in, front bearing's greased.
So
put it on.
Yep. So what we're doing now is rebuilding the hub, correct?
Yep.
You've all packed it all on.
Yeah.
All greased it.
Put the outer race in there. Put the bearing in with the grease. Seals in, so that's ready to install.
Good stuff.
So put the outer bearing on and lock it up. Oh, I've got to put some grease in there too.
Yeah.
There we go. Voila.
Bearing.
Now. Basically the outside of the rotor was resting on the caliper body,
Yeah.
and if this had have given way,
Snapped off all. Yeah.
your whole tyre would have went south, hub and all.
With the big axle sticking out.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, everything just would have went
Everything.
with it.
Wow.
Yeah. Because that nut was probably only hanging on by that much. You can see the wear on these protrusions. That's how far this is screwed out of the axle stub, and it was rubbing on the inside of your axle flange.
Da, 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 da.
Now I just put all the cone washers and nuts back on and slowly pull it in, tightening the bolts up in a star pattern.
All good. Ready to go again. Stoked. Driving a while now. It's taken us a good hour just to do 20 to 30 kilometres. So getting to camp before dark, or even seeing the cliffs before dark, is not really likely. This track is really rough, and hopefully it gets better, because I'd really like to see the backs of cliffs today, and yeah, considering we've got to drive right next to them to get to our next destination. So hopefully things get better. Right now I've basically been just sitting in 4th gear low, and even if I go out to a rough rocky section, I'll just putt over it. Even if I drop down to 800 RPM, I'm still getting over it quite comfortably without stalling or without putting too much stress on the clutch or anything. So that seems to be the best way to drive on this track here. Finally made it. I'm so happy that we've seen the backs of cliffs today. Been weighing around 2 days, so you know it was definitely worth it, worth the wait. We didn't get much time out there, but we are all very privileged to see the backs of cliffs at sunset and drive along the backs of cliffs at sunset. That was really cool, even though we only just drove it for about an hour. That was one incredible experience. And we're going to stay here somewhere. There's some ruins about 4 kilometers from our current position. We're going to stay there. I'm assuming there's a camp there. If not, we've got to find our camp, and we'll be here in the morning again. So we'll get to experience the cliffs on the way to Twilight Cove, and Twilight Cove I'm really looking forward to seeing. That's going to be a big effort tomorrow. I think it's about 100 kilometers of just harsh limestone, but it'll all be worth it. And the weather out here is just still spectacular. I cannot believe how lucky we've been with the weather. It's just a shame we lost a few days there, but you know, you get that. These ruins that lay here are actually from 1877, the East to West Telegraph linesman's camp. And the only thing here that really remains is that rock hole tank with that bit of metal on top of it. Well, it doesn't look like a place we can camp. Oh dear. Looking for a campsite in an area you're not familiar with in the dark is really not ideal. You tend to miss some spots that would have been obvious during the day. What's that, mate?
I found the air highway track.
Yeah, I saw, yeah. Camping wise, this is not a good option.
Not a good option at all.
I reckon too many snakes.
Too many snakes, long grass, and what Wayne said, there's a mine shaft right here.
Yeah, mine. No, it's a old mammoth hole. Mammoth hole. Over there, like a water hole.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Meat and sausage on top of your green Right.
Wasn't too many more Ks down the track, and we found an actual campsite. So we're pretty happy about that. I've just gotten real comfortable, washed my feet. I've heated water in the fire and used one of my oil rags, which wasn't used yet, to wash my feet. Oh, I've got socks on. I'm feeling great from the ankles down. Wayne's got the potatoes in the fire just behind us. And how much longer we got, Wayne?
Probably another 10.
Alright. So when we do potatoes, Wayne, what do we normally do?
Just put them in some alpha oil, bit of oil, salt and pepper. You can chuck in chives or garlic. And just give it a few pokes, and then wrap in foil and chuck it in. And make sure you don't chuck it straight in the fire. It makes it get some coals.
Yeah. So we got another 10 minutes to done.
Yeah.
And we've got the barbecue in the background there. Just over there. We're going to put some steaks in it. Nathan and Yuha, what are you guys having?
Curry sausages and rice.
Pre-cooked again?
Another pre-cooked, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Do you freeze them?
no,
You don't freeze them?
no, it's cryovac.
Cryovac, okay. So almost just as good, really.
Yeah.
You're eating them within a week or two. We're still very close to Twilight Cove. So tomorrow we're going to go back a couple of kilometres, check it out, because once we've done that, we're going to be doing a lot of Ks inland until we get to Twilight Cove, which is the pinnacle of the trip now, as we're not going to make it to South Australia. So we're going to settle in here for the night and have some good feed, drinks, usual stuff, and get going in the morning. See you then. Yuha had a nice surprise from a female trapdoor spider when he rolled up his swag. Now these are quite scary looking creatures for those who don't like spiders, including myself, but they are actually quite harmless. Their bite will definitely hurt, judging by those fangs, and the worst case scenario for a person who's been bit is just local pain and swelling, so they're not life threatening, just scary as hell. We are now at Twilight Cove, and this place here was the only spot that could actually easily hoist materials up to the line workers from the beach down below. Now, fishermen have also used this since, and those holes in the limestone we're looking at, we believe that they used to hold some posts, which they used as a zip line to send fishing gear up and down, and perhaps even the material for the telegraph track. It was then time to make a move. We had 130 kilometers ahead of us, and we had no idea what this track had in store for us. We've been going for a while. Not getting much closer either. Average speed 25 kilometers per hour. And every time you think you can get some speed up, you've really got to have your wits about you, because once you get around the corners, there are trees and stumps and all kinds of stuff sticking out, so you can't hit those corners too fast. Here's a van that didn't quite make it. How many Ks on the clock? 2.
Gearbox still works.
It's done 181,000.
Oh, what's it? 200. 181,000.
Oh, sorry, 281.
281.
It's even got aircon.
Jeez.
Not working much.
We then arrived at the Baxter Memorial. Now, the short story goes, in April 1841, an exploration party of 5 people, I believe, were low on supplies and desperate for water. There were some disagreements to be had, and 2 of the Aborigines who were part of the group took guns and supplies and then shot John Baxter as he tried to get out of his swag to stop them, leaving only Eyre and Wiley with no supplies left. And here we are at the Baxter Cliffs. Now, we thought we could follow the Baxter Cliff all the way to join up with another track, but it proves we were wrong and we lost a bit of time.
So we're back on the rough tracks again, and we've been driving over this wire the entire time since we left Bilbunya Dunes, and we were wondering where the fence was. It was an old fence or something, but turns out it's the actual telegraph line, because we've got an old telegraph pole right here behind us. I'll show you. So there's the old pole, and this line would have run from Eucla all the way to Israelite Bay. Also explains why this wire is so thick. That's a decent bit of wire there.
We then lost even more time because we couldn't find a track. And right now you're looking at Wayne, who I'm guiding from the drone so we can find this track, which you can clearly see, but from the ground you cannot see it at all.
This track just went from uncomfortable to ridiculous. How you feeling, boys?
A bit shake it up.
Shaken, not stirred.
Shaken, not stirred. Oh man.
One stiff neck
Wow.
We got about 19 k's to go.
How many?
19.
now. It's about 4 hours.
We'll reach Twilight Cove.
Is that the back?
All my stuff has been shaken to bits and pieces. All my waters have been shaken apart. I've had to reload my fridge so all my cans don't get banged around and all my food doesn't get all mashed up. What do you got there? Telegraph wire.
It's the old telegraph wire. It's been here for over 100 years, and it's better than any fencing wire we can buy nowadays. Still can't even break it.
It's thick wire, eh?
Look at that. Give it a couple of bends and it's good as new again. Back nice and shiny.
Wonder how many messages came through that one.
Oh. That was a 1-800 number.
Welcome to Twilight Cove. 3 days ago, most of us were unsure if we were actually going to reach this place.
I'm very happy we finally got here. This made up for the disappointment of being stuck in the dunes for 3 days. And we all had a sense of adventure last night because we were driving until I think 10 p.m. The tracks were horrendous. They took so long. I snapped my antenna, snapped my fishing rod, punctured a tyre. A few of the other boys got loose bolts. It was a really rough track, really rough going, but all worth it in the end to see stuff like this. So off to have breakfast now, and thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe right here, and if you'd like to support the creation of this content, you can go to patreon.com/Ronnie Dale. Thanks again. See ya.
Hello!
How do you do?